here we have a question based on percentage. Let us come up with linear equations to represent the situation that we see here. But before we start, let me give you a heads up. This is going to be a particular kind of linear equations where you will see that the coefficients of the variables are interchanged. So we will deal with it differently than our usual methods of straightaway elimination or substitution. We will deal with this differently. How differently? What is all this fuss about? Let us find out what is the situation that we have here. There is a person who invests her money in two different schemes, two different money making schemes. So suppose she invests X rupees in A, which is the first scheme, Y rupees in the second scheme. Now what is different about these two schemes? The whole question is about the differences of interest. Now what is the interest that the first scheme offers? The first scheme, which is A, they offer an interest of 8% per annum. What does percent mean? Per means for every. Cent means 100, annum means year. So what does that mean? For every 100 that she puts in this scheme, she will get 8 rupees extra at the end of every year. Now, if I say extra, I use the word extra, but what is the mathematical term for it? The mathematical term is interest. The original money that you have put is called the principal, and the every year what adds up, that is called the interest. So if she puts 100 rupees, she will get a plus 8. That means at the end of the year, she will get not the 100, not the original 100 that she put, she will get 108. But then 100 is not the money that she invested. How much did she invest? She has put X rupees. Then what will be her interest? It would be just cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you will get what? 8x by 100. So that means if at the beginning of the year she put X rupees, then the interest amount will be what? 8x by 100. Now what about B? Now what happens in the second scheme? Different amount of money, different interest rate. This time the interest rate is 9% of this much amount, Y rupees. How much is that? As usual, read it in English, translate it into maths. This is how you get. Remember, whenever you see the word of, it means multiplication. So from the second scheme, the amount of interest that she got is 9y by 100. But what is given? The total annual interest from both of them together was how much? It was 1860. Now this is what the situation is. This much is the annual interest that she got for both of her investments. But then somebody has an advice for her. If she had interchanged the amounts, which means if in the first scheme she had put Y rupees, and in the second scheme if she had put X rupees, then the total annual interest would be 20 rupees more than what she got, which means it would be this much. 1880, she would have got 20 rupees more. But then what is the interest that she got here? It would be 8y by 100. And what is the interest that she got here? It would be 9x by 100. These two added would have got her 20 rupees extra. Now how will we solve this equation? So these are the two equations that we got. Take the LCM, cross multiply, you get such two equations. Now we have to solve these two linear equations. Now do you notice something interesting about these two equations? The coefficients of X and y are interchanged in both the equations. Here the coefficient of x is 8, but here the coefficient of y is 8. So how do we deal with it? Instead of solving these two equations by the usual method of substitution and elimination and all, instead of that, what we will do is add these two equations and again subtract these two equations. Then what will you see? So you see what we did here? We had two equations which had big numbers. We would have to do lengthy calculations, but what did we do? Added both of them, got such a simple equation, subtracted both of them, again got a very simple equation. Now what do you have to do? Now you are dealing with very simple equations, two of them. Now what you have to do is just solve both of them. There, now you have two simple equations. Then the coefficients are just 1 and minus 1. It is very simple, right? All you have to do is add both of them. Y will get cancelled. So you have got x is 12,000 and y is 10,000. So that is all for today. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.